Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor. We finally got our first look at Top Gun. Well, we've seen trailers, but director Joseph Kosinski has finally come forward to offer some tidbits about the plot, about the movie, and we got some new images and a crop of new fighters that got me a little excited. I'll be honest. I wasn't that excited for this one yet. It felt like just Tom Cruise getting to fulfill flying dreams, and as I read this, that's clearly actually what it probably was. But I also think there's some cool stuff in this. They figured out a cool angle, and I'm on board. I think this could be a lot of fun. So let's go through the article. Entertainment Weekly brought this. Let's talk about it. But these are the images of the first new crop of fighters, and unlike the young pilots in the original film, the trainees in Maverick are all previous graduates of Top Gun School, aka the United States Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program. So these are the other characters as we're scrolling through who will be a big part of the film. Those pilots were entering the Top Gun school for the first time in the first film, Kosinski said, so the original film's characters, which included Maverick, Val Kilmer's Iceman, Anthony Edwards' Goose. In our film, these are all Top Gun graduates who are coming back for a special training detachment, which is another aspect of Top Gun where they can go back for specialized training after they've already graduated. They're all at different levels of experience than in the first film. That's cool. I like that idea. It sort of skips a lot of the training BS and gets to people who are super experienced and cocky, people who aren't as experienced, all across the gamut to make it more exciting when they need to go out there and do their mission. And also makes it clear that they're training for a mission that I always thought at the end of Top Gun, it was weird that the trainees suddenly were there starting a war with Russia or whatever. Anyway, here are more photos of the new crew. For the new actors, that meant experiencing up to 1,600 pounds of force in F-18 Super Hornets, which were specially outfitted with 6 IMAX quality cameras to capture the actors as they pretended to pilot the planes, which were actually operated by a Navy pilot in the other seat. The experience is thrilling but physically grueling, Kosinski said. The maneuvers that they were putting them through to tell the story were not something that you can just jump in and do. They all had to go through months of aerial training. We put them through a training course that Tom actually designed himself. Crazy. He's a licensed aerobatic pilot, and he was thrown into deep end when he did the first Top Gun without any training. So he knew that they would need to kind of work up to that level. So they started in Synesthesis and then worked their way up to aerobatic airplanes, then into small single-engine jets before they were in the Super Hornet. Occasionally, it made the actors some sick, and that happens to even the most experienced fighter pilots. More characters that we're meeting. There's no crew up there. I'm not up there with him. There's no cinematographer, no hair and makeup. They are responsible for every aspect of the filmmaking process when they are up in those airplanes. I didn't know that. That's great. I mean, it makes sense because you're flying in a real plane. They've designed the plane so someone's flying in front when they do their shots and sort of can take over to make sure that they don't just get strapped. They don't have Tom Cruise can, but the other ones can't. So then they have to at least turn the camera on to make sure it's paying attention. That's pretty crazy because they look, and the IMAX cameras, how they've gotten them that tiny to fit in the cockpits of these planes is insane. The most extreme sequence was glimpsed in the teaser trailer when Maverick is flying across the desert at a rather insanely low altitude. And there is Miles Teller. We'll get to him in a second. For that sequence where Tom got to do some extreme low altitude flying in this film, we had to get special permission from the Navy to do it. It was one of the most extreme aerial sequences that we could come up with. Also getting to do a real launch off of a carrier and a real landing on a carrier. No one has been able to ever do that in a movie before. So Tom got to fulfill every kind of aviation dream that he had. So there's him reaffirming what I thought always, which was no disrespect. When you're Tom Cruise, of course you decide to make Top Gun when you're like, you know what? I really love this flying. I want to do some cool flying stuff. But here's Miles Teller, and yes, they finally have confirmed it. I mean, I feel like they've already done this, but he plays Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw. Get it? He's not a goose, he's a rooster. He's the son of the original film's ill-fated Goose, and the relationship between Maverick and Rooster is the biggest driver in the film. Okay, I'm into that. I like that. The relationship between Maverick and Rooster really forms the emotional core and spine of the film. Since he says it was really one of the key reasons Tom felt like that now is this is the time to go back and do this. Iceman has returned to the new film as well. Val Kilmer is back. We knew that, but so far absent from all the marketing. How Iceman fits in the new story isn't something Kosinski wants to reveal yet. The rivalry and relationship between Iceman and Maverick is one of those things that makes that first film so iconic. It's a relationship that is important to the Top Gun franchise, and as a fan, I would want to see how it's evolved. Me too. So I like that. That was Danny Ramirez as Fanboy. Let's look one more time. These kind of cool characters. We got Danny Ramirez as Fanboy, and then we had, sorry, I thought I had this in a separate tab, but I didn't. Then we got Glenn Powell as Hangman. There he is. Glenn Powell as Hangman. Hey, there he is. And then we also have Jay Ellis as Payback. Jay Ellis as Payback. Bam. I like these suits. Cool. And then we got Miles Teller as Rooster. Look, I'm a fan of Miles Teller as an actor. I like Tom Cruise movies. I do. He's a movie star. He still is. Top Gun, the fact that he's coming back. I mean, obviously, he wants to fly planes and do cool stunts. That's what he does now in Mission Impossible, etc. But coming back to do a sequel for a movie so classic of his, I would hope he's bringing it and knows he's got to bring it, and that this is going to be visually stunning, cool sequences, and have a point to it. I'm not the hugest Top Gun fan, I'll be honest. I like it, I enjoyed it. It's a product of its time. So it's going to be interesting to see how they update it for this new era, and can it be as popular? And will there be Kenny Loggins music? There's been rumors that there will be. Kenny says he's written a song and that he wants to put Danger Zone in there. Look, this movie doesn't work if they don't have Kenny Loggins in some facet. It just has to. That soundtrack to Top Gun, oh man, it holds up. Go put that on your streaming, whatever, Spotify, whatever you listen to. Go give it a shot again. There's some great, great tracks on that soundtrack, and it'll just get you get you going. So Top Gun Maverick, there you go. New details, new photos. What do you think of this plot? I'm in board. I mean, it seems like that's what I expected this was going to be. Nothing game changing there, but it's getting me excited. Small little reveals until this summer when the film comes out. I'm starting to get a little bit more intrigued than I was. What about you? Hit me up down in the comments below or on social media. Please leave a like or a comment or something to engage in the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more entertainment updates, Nerd Wars, lots of other fun shows here on Popcorn Planet. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye.